Hello, welcome to the E08 Show. I'm your host, John Melone, and in this episode, I have brought on regular Asperegoose. And as for our guest, he's currently living in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. He is an entrepreneur, and there's so much more to learn about him. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Vinodh Menon.
Perfect. You mentioned my name perfectly.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pronounce it like the first time. I thought he was just going to say something incoherent, and I was like, oh no.
Oh man,
But
this white guy. What's he doing? No, and
Oh, man.
I mean, the thing is, the way you pronounce where I lived, I was like, oh my god, my name is going to be demolished. I tell you, but no worries. You did it well.
yeah. Oh,
Great.
great. That's good. We're not getting cancelled. Okay, that's great.
No worries. You guys are still on.
So, how's life?
Life is good, man. Life is good. It's 7:02 in the morning here. It's good to wake up early, and I guess, yeah, it's good. How about you guys?
Oh, I'm doing great. Life is going as smoothly as it should.
Yeah, nice. So N, right? I mean, what's your name? I mean, what does N stand
I'm
for?
that's my first name, but that's I'm not going to say that for privacy reasons. But I'm Asperegoose, and my life is going well so far. Actually, yeah,
Cool.
my name's Nikolai. Yeah, my name's Nikolai.
Nikolai.
I'll just Nikolai. Yeah, but
Nice to meet you.
life is going well so far. I'm really enjoying life right now. I'm doing pretty well with what I'm doing on social media. I really like it.
Yeah, nice.
So, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, so I am basically I run two businesses. I have a online bakery which I run, working with home bakers in Kuala Lumpur, and a few states here. And basically, we deliver desserts across a few states in the country. But what I'm here to talk about is my influencer marketing agency, the one that I set up probably late last year. Basically, we work with clients from F&B, lifestyle brands, fashion, food, and anything that you can think of. And we work with them to generate campaigns where we review their products, their services, and we get the word out through using influencers. So it's like Fire Festival, but the good version, like the really good and ethical version. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
What kind of
And-
brands do you like to work with?
Well, they are all local brands, and that's why I'm looking to get on like platforms such as yours, because the thing is, I would like to get the word out to international brands as well, brands in the UK, brands in the US. Wherever you are in basically in today's world, there is no limitation to where you can sell your product, right? I mean, it can be shipped anywhere, it can be sent anywhere. And so, if you are like a businessman in a person or a woman in England, and say you have a product that you want to sell over here, and you want to do some marketing, you know what I mean? So you can use agencies such as mine to promote your product and services to people. So that's the whole idea. Actually, that's what I do.
Nice.
Okay, great. And how's that in general going for you?
It's going good. The thing is, when it comes to influencer marketing, it is quite new over here. In the sense that it's not being used so much yet. Whereas, like in the Western Hemisphere, it is used a lot. Companies even use. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the numbers around like 18% of companies' ad budgets are focused on influencer marketing. Whereas over here, it is a new thing. So that is a challenge to educate people on the benefits. And the second thing is that, it's to select to get the right influencer for the right brand with the right audience as well is a challenge. But then all in all, it's actually going pretty well for me. I have 5-6 clients a month. So it's all about just growth now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And have you thought about starting up any new businesses in the future?
Yeah, I do have some ideas. I'm always having ideas. I'm not to say always, but it happens quite a lot. And so what I do is generally I sort of, run it by my wife, who gives me her input, and then I decide whether to proceed with it or not. But I do have a few more ideas, and I would be looking to set it up probably in the next few months or 6-7 months time. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So, do you see yourself doing this 20 years from now?
You mean what? A business or this particular thing?
Like in general, in what you're doing right now.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, ever since from a young age, I mean, business is what I always wanted to do. I was never a 9 to 5 person, and that's not putting down 9 to 5 people at all. It's not saying that 9 to 5 is something bad or what. No, it's not. But for me, business has always been my focus and my passion, and it's something that makes me happy. Dealing with problems, creating plans, executing plans and all that stuff. It really makes me, happy. And so that's what I like. And so I think I don't think I'll ever retire. Like, this is what I want to do forever. And the goal is always, to have several businesses running together. So I don't think I'll ever stop. 20 years, 30 years down the road, nah, I don't think I'll ever stop. Hello? You guys there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Jamie seems to have just literally disappeared out of existence based on the silence from his end.
He's been abducted by aliens. There we go.
It's been Thanos snapped.
Yeah, Thanos snapped, and that's it. Jamie's gone. Bye, Jamie. We'll see you.
4 years gone. 4 years, and somehow the whole Avengers Infinity War meme is somehow still alive.
Still alive, thanks to Jamie. Yeah.
So is there influencer economy like small in your country? Is it, or is it like growing exponentially?
It is growing. I mean, there are a lot of influencers out there. There are a lot of new ones. It is growing, but the thing is, I think a lot of influencers nowadays need to understand that to become an influencer, the first thing you need to do is to be authentic, right? Thanks to Netflix and YouTube, you have a lot of these documentaries and a lot of cases where influencers have been accused of marketing the wrong thing, or not being honest about the endorsements. You have a lot of influencers nowadays who are just for the likes, for the follows, for the shares, and they do so by just twerking on camera. You know what I mean? So
that's pretty much TikTok.
Yes, it is, right? I mean, I look at it and I'm like, you know what? If you want to be an influencer, I mean, if you're fine just getting the likes, that's fine. But if you want to be really used by companies out there, brands out there, it's not going to work for you if you're going to just keep on twerking. So there are influencers who are authentic and real, who do things the right way and who really have built a following based on just being themselves. I think one good example would be people like what's his name? That actor, the guy who played Deadpool. What's his name? Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, he does things amazingly. Like if you see his brand, he has this gin brand called Aviation Gin, and the way he markets himself is just so relaxed. It's so casual. It's so him, and people just love his stuff because of the way he markets it. So I think people need to follow figures such as that to learn a bit about how to market themselves the right way. Yeah.
Because influencer marketing these days, it's the way to go. You don't need to spend like big money on Super Bowl commercials. You could literally just contact a TikToker and just tell them, "Hey, promote this." Like I've been seeing so many videos like of the Hype House, the biggest TikTok collective.
Yeah.
All of their like money comes from this drinks company called Bang Energy, even though they don't disclose in their TikToks that what they do is essentially an advertisement. So like, I mean. That it's pretty scummy, but that's the way the economy works nowadays.
Yeah, but and I completely agree with you. It is a low budget form of advertising. It's very cost effective, and if you look at the trend, people have to accept that influencer marketing has to be part of their plan, their overall advertising budget, because the entire real estate of advertising is now moving from billboards, from newspapers, even online portals to your phone, right? To I mean, if you look at people's usage of their smartphones, a lot of that time is spent on social media platforms, right?
Yeah.
And so it's all because just where the eye of the consumer is pointing at, and if it's looking at the phone, then you have to get your ads there. So and using influencer marketing is a more subtle way as opposed to Facebook ads, which is just in your face marketing. So it is a very crucial, and I think the whole importance of influencer marketing is just going to keep on growing as time goes on. So that's something that people really have to keep an eye on. I think a lot of brands need to really move with times and have that in their plans. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and besides, yeah, influencers are also a great way for traditional brands to push forward their products. Like, for example, one of the most followed people on TikTok, Happy Lamb, who makes like those videos in which he criticizes those 5-minute crafts videos. Have you seen them?
Yeah,
This
I have. Yeah.
Italian guy, African Italian guy. No, he's Senegalese. He's
Okay.
made several videos like this. He's now the face of the Hugo Boss brand. So it is a great way also for young people to look at this brand, from which they wouldn't usually buy clothes, and be like, "Oh, look, that's my favorite influencer. I'm gonna buy their products now." So it is amazing how, we've gone, from film celebrities to people who make videos on their phones. It's an evolution of our entertainment in a way.
It is. It's changed because of the way people consume entertainment is changing, right? I mean, everything happens on their phones, and and exactly like what you said, a customer's purchase decision is not is most often, especially now, is based on reviews, it's based on testimonials, it's based on other customer experiences, right? So
Yeah.
influencer marketing will help people make their decision, because if exactly as to what you said, I mean, if it's someone that I admire, like if I I'll give one perfect example. Like I was never into MMA. I was never into MMA. I was never into
Yeah.
UFC, right? And then I think maybe a few years back, there was this cross fight between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, right? And again, I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather, never watched MMA, but because of the way Conor McGregor's story was marketed and the way it was packaged, and the build up to the fight, I was like, oh, man, I really have to watch this guy fight, and I actually bought the pay-per-view, right? So it's about just, and so that's how a lot of consumer decisions are being driven in today's world. So influencer marketing is very important. So with that, it can help you build that demand for your brand. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so important. Yeah. How about
I
in
think it
Russia?
also in Russia. I currently don't live in Russia, but I mean, of course, I wouldn't live in Russia right now. It's a terrible place to live in.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The ruble is falling every single hour, and literally no one wants to be there. No one wants to live in a country which is economically collapsing, because obviously they're literally just sending troops to another country. So I mean, there's quite a lot of influencers in Russia. We have a popular YouTuber there called A4, who does who has brand deals with Burger King, and he's done ready breakfast meal. So it's pretty consumerist in there. It's also a lot of it is aimed at children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I generally yeah.
Okay, so you do have a number of people there who actually do these things, right? Who are influencers.
Yeah, a lot of influencers in Russia.
Okay. Cool. So how about you? I mean, like when you make a purchase, is it based on reviews, or do you? I mean, what decides what you buy?
Well, I generally like to look at reviews. I mean, sometimes I go and want to try something new, just for the sake of it, because See, for example, I bought recently a G-Star belt,
Okay.
G-Star Raw belt, because I was like, hey, you know what? Let's try a new Dutch brand because Snoop
Okay.
Dogg was advertising it, and because I currently live in the Netherlands, so I thought I'd try it, and the belt is fine. It costs 35 euros, but it's all right.
Exactly. And one thing that you mentioned is because Snoop Dogg bought it, right? So it's just this sort of
Yeah.
influencer marketing also, I guess, helps brands to build their entire credibility just by association. So if you
Yeah.
have a big enough star who's wearing it, my goodness, it's the same way as Beats headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brand by Dr. Dre, right? And what's the other guy's name? Jimmy Iovine. But yeah, it's just because every celebrity was wearing it that people like say, wow, this is the must-have headset. You know what I mean? But if you were like a really a headset or an audio enthusiast, you would know that there are way better brands out there. But Beats is just a cooler brand just because all the famous celebrities wear it. So it's all about association, I guess.
I remember there's this earbud brand called Raycon, which is like the sponsorships with the YouTubers. And I think that's
Okay.
very good marketing strategy.
Such as, I mean, how do they market?
Well, basically, like they use it through YouTubers, so like they get YouTubers to advertise their products for them. Like they say in their videos, get this, product for 15% off and use my discount code. So, like in a way, it's
Oh.
like it directly connects, with the audience. And
Mm.
besides, it's earbuds. These are the trendy thing nowadays. So
Yes,
the audience is more inclined to get something that's comfortable, something that you can carry in your pocket.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. So I guess
It's,
influencers
it's
are a very important part.
Yeah, and besides, it's YouTubers. Like these people have millions of subscribers, millions of views, so they are seen as trustworthy public figures.
Exactly. But I mean, I just want to get your opinion on influencer marketing. I mean, what do you honestly think about it? Are you someone who believes in it, or you think it's all fake, or?
Well, I'm fine with influencer marketing, but I think that there should be more regulation of ads, so that especially young people could see if this is a product endorsement or not. Because with the Hype House, once again, like they don't disclose that they're sponsored by Bang Energy. They just film a TikTok, post it, and they don't like add in the description like this post is sponsored or like put hashtag ad. And there's been a lot
Mm,
of cases where
mm.
influencers they've didn't disclose that their product was their video is sponsored by a certain company. So I think there should be tighter controls by government authorities to prevent such things from happening.
Wow. Okay. So but like I mean, it's like the whole situation with the Fire Festival.
Yeah.
And I think a point that was brought up at the end was that people actually were suing the influencers who actually posted about that festival, right? But I
Yes.
don't think it's fair to actually blame those influencers, because no one really knows at the end of the day, like the what happens behind the curtain when it comes to any product or service or an event, right? So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've always felt that you can't really blame the influencer for promoting or talking about a product, because I mean, they only know what is told to them, right? I mean, so I guess.
Exactly. Like these influencers, like all they care about is monetary gain. So
They
if
do.
there's an opportunity, they'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because that's their work. I mean, that's their bread and butter. A lot of them, that's sort of like a main income, because some of them really charge high amounts to actually review anything. So yeah, so if you pay them and they believe in it, then they will do it. Yeah. But to be fair though, there are influencers who are very picky about the products that they do. They are, but
Yeah.
it's a small community within the community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you planning to become one?
I mean,
I mean, yeah.
yeah. I do. I would certainly like to do work on social media. I would certainly like to be a content creator, but like I
Yeah.
don't really want to go into TikTok because doesn't seem like a platform on which I would enjoy making content. I would prefer to stay on YouTube. And besides, there's lots of good YouTube sponsors, that I like. There's like NordVPN, Atlas VPN, a lot of VPN providers. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like I just feel more comfortable with these kinds of sponsorships because they're easy. Like, I'm not promoting like a specific. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But it's 12 o'clock where I am right now. But I just generally feel like I'm more comfortable on YouTube, and I would like to become a content creator.
So how did you start up this podcast? I mean, what made you start interviewing people and talking to people?
Well, I was actually Jamie, who actually seems to have literally disappeared from existence so far. He invited me to this podcast. I actually know him because we met on this platform called Byte, which was like the spiritual successor to Vine, and now it's been remade into a platform called Clash. And we know each other. We've followed each other. We've communicated with each other.
Okay.
We tried to make like a Byte collective on there, but the project failed because the platform wasn't going anywhere. And but we kept in touch, and eventually he invited me onto the podcast, and it was pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, it is. I mean, I've done a few interviews of people as well, but just that most of these platforms that you have out there, most of the guests are from the US, so timing is always an issue.
Yeah. But Byte is an American platform. It's now Clash.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I don't really use it because short videos are just like I'm finding success with long content like on YouTube. So I don't really feel the need to post short content.
Plus, I feel like TikTok content seems like a lot of work. Like I'm amazed at the videos that actually people create, because I'm sure it takes a lot of rehearsing, and you got to spend at least a few hours preparing that short video clip, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. Plus with the editing and all that.
Well, most of these TikTok clips, there's lots of popular TikTokers who are completely effortless. Like, all they do is just place their phone on a surface, then perform a little dance or something, and then just stop recording. That's it. Somehow 2 million likes, 50 million views. Somehow this is what I don't like about TikTok. It somehow has created this idea that you can literally blow up for doing the stupidest and most effortless things possible. That's not an idea that I find very appealing.
I guess it's true. Even there's that guy, the one who was dancing in front of I think he was in his bathroom, and then he was dancing in front of the mirror to that song by Nelly Furtado, I think. And it just went viral. It's just him just moving very casually to the song, and everyone's talking about it. It's amazing.
Yeah. The kind of content that I actually enjoy on TikTok is comedy, like Gen Z comedy. It's simple to make, but at the same time, it's actually funny. It also feels like the people behind the camera, they actually feel relatable because they're not some big celebrities that are just disconnected from the rest of the population. They're just ordinary people with a smartphone who just like to make content.
Yeah, exactly.
Admittedly, it's a monetary gain, but still, they feel relatable because they're just like us.
Exactly, and I completely agree. Like I also enjoy that type of videos. But the thing about TikTok that I'm not a fan of is that there's a lot of negative content out there. Like, there's a lot of stuff like people dying, and worse ways people have died, and those sort of things really just leave a sour taste in my mouth, man. Like, I'm not up for that. Like, I like the funny stuff. I like just be entertained. That's why I prefer YouTube to TikTok, because in YouTube you can actually select what you want to see. So you don't. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just saw that Jamie sent me a message. Yeah. So his AirPods went out.
Oh, okay.
So he's sent me a list of questions that he would like me to ask you. So we'll go to the questions. Why influencer marketing should be a key part of your plan, of a marketing plan?
Oh, that's simple. It's because I think we spoke about this. It's because people are. I mean, as time progresses, people are going to spend more and more time on their phones, on their smart whatever items. I mean, smart gadgets that they have. Right, the phone has now become an extension of the human body. It's no longer just something that we use. Casually. And if you're looking at the way society is going, you're looking at Gen Z, people who are the first generation who actually grew up with phones, right? So what's happening is that people's eyes and ears are going to be locked onto their phones. So the real estate of advertising will then shift more and more to your phone as opposed to traditional forms of advertising. So so that's one thing. And also in these phones, most of the users spend a lot of their time on social media platforms like Instagram, like Facebook, like TikTok, like YouTube, Snapchat, whatever you want. So to get your product on those platforms, to get people reviewing on platforms, increases the chances of people actually viewing it. So thus, the more people who know about your product, the more chances that they are going to buy. And lastly, why it's important is that consumers in today's world are different from consumers 20 years back. Consumers nowadays are well aware of when they are being hard sold something, when they know when people are selling them something, they know when people are trying to endear them to the brand. They are very smart. So influencer marketing is one very potent way of actually humanizing your brand. And if, like, for example, like if I like this influencer and this influencer is wearing this product, the chances of me buying that product is going to be way higher than if I just saw that product on an ad. The same way you were talking about how you bought a belt because you saw Snoop Dogg wear it, right? So it's creating the perception. Yeah, so it's creating it by association, and that's a powerful thing.
Yeah. Jamie, yeah. So the second question, the benefits of influencer marketing and the misconceptions. Well, we've got the fact that it is more direct with the viewers, and the misconception is that the potentially also it's a scam. Like, I mean, there's been lots of cases where as you said with Kendall Jenner and all those other models, they marketed the Fire Festival, which was a massive. It was a massive like scam. So
it was a scam, yeah.
It was a massive steal.
Yeah. So so it's a two-part question, right? So the first part in terms of benefits, I think it's crucial to have influencer marketing because it helps to humanize your brand, right? That's a very powerful thing to do. I'll give you an example. I mean, like, especially in today's world where you have a lot of scammers, you have a lot of brands that are just there on social media to just make a quick buck. They take your money, then they run away. I mean, these things do exist. So for those smaller brands, people who are looking to start a small business and all that, I would really recommend using influencers because when you do, you actually then create you're attaching a face to a brand, which increases people's trust in the brand, right? So again, that helps to stimulate sales. Now, so that's the main benefit, I would think. And secondly is that these influencers have their specific target audience. So you're talking about, say, if you are an influencer who only focuses on fitness, your audience is going to be people who are similar to you, who have similar interests. So if you are a fitness brand, targeting them using these influencers, it's like it sends you directly to a pool of potential customers who love fitness. So if I have like a fitness brand, these people will be ideal for me because their followers are of the same ilk. They love fitness. They love all things fitness, all things sports or whatever. So that again makes it easier. And you know what? It's a very cost-effective way. We're not talking about hundreds and thousands of dollars. We're talking about a small amount of money that's going to be, and it's more effective, it's more efficient, and also it's more accountable. So that's the benefit. Yeah. But on the flip side, I think the misconceptions also that influencer marketing is expensive. That's wrong. It's not. Influencer marketing is difficult to do. Also not true. It's quite easy, and if you can find the right agency or the right person to guide you, I think it's very simple. And most of them are scammers. Well, this is not true, although there are scammers out there, but it's not true. There are a lot of influencers who are doing it, sincerely and honestly and ethically as well. It's just about knowing who to look for. Yeah. Sorry, that's a long answer to your question. Yeah. Hello, Nikolai.
Oh shit! Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So Jamie asks also, what business should use influencer marketing?
I would recommend any business. If you are a small, medium enterprise, or even a large one. I mean, a lot of companies here in Malaysia use influencer marketing, such as people like Pepsi, alcoholic beverages, those big brands. They use influencer marketing. So it's up to anyone. But it also depends on the product and the service that you are providing, but it is applicable to almost any brand out there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also got to depend on the budget, because if you've got a local company like in Malaysia, they're gonna have a much more constrained budget, so it will be still harder for them to find the appropriate influencers.
Yeah, but of course, you see, in the case of influencers, you have 4 different tiers, right? You have your nano influencers, your micro, your macro, and then your mega. So, if for example, like if you have a constrained budget, then it's about finding the influencers who fit your budget, but who at the same time have the right audience for you. So it's all about that. It's all about finding the best match to meet all of your requirements. Like, for example, if I want to promote food, I would only target food, and plus I'm a new company and I have a very constrained budget. I would then only target like certain size influencers. I would only target them, and also based on the price and the reach and the engagement rate that they have. So this is why it's important to have like agencies or somebody who knows what they're doing to actually find the right influencer for you. So that's crucial. Hello, Nikolai.
Something happened.
No worries, man.
Hello? What
Hello?
happened? Hello?
No. Hello? Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought something was going wrong with my phone. So
No.
so yeah, because we have to also consider the fact that these are small influencers. So would these influencers be able to provide enough traffic and enough profit for the company?
Okay. Now, in terms of traffic, how we increase the probability of having good traffic from influencers is by keeping an eye on their engagement. So by engagement, I mean the number of likes, number of comments, number of shares that each of their posts has. In the world of influencer marketing, it's very common to find individuals who have, say, 20,000 followers on their IG profile, but with each post they're only getting 2 or 3 likes, 2 or 3 comments. And so in this type of influencers, you should keep an eye on, because they generally have bought their followers, right? They have bought them. So you are not going to get engagement from people like this. While their numbers, you may say, wow, this person has 50,000 followers, it has to be good. But sometimes it doesn't. So how I ensure engagement for my clients is that I select influencers based on their engagement rate. So the more people engage with the post, it means that how we take it is that these are people who have seen the post, seen what there's been posted about, and they have taken the time to react. So these people are the ones who are going to most likely go to your page and like your page as well. So that's how I find the right balance, right? Now, in terms of sales, because in terms of profit, one of the things that I always tell my clients is that influencer marketing does not necessarily directly affect your sales. It's more about brand building. So when you engage influencers to review your product, and if they are average size influencers, right, with an average clout, you cannot expect them to immediately generate sales for you. So it's about building your brand. It's about it's like why a company creates an ad on TV. I mean, back then, it doesn't promise sales, but it increases the likelihood of that happening. So that's how companies should take influencer marketing. It just increases the likelihood of it happening. Yeah. Hello, Nikolai. You gone quiet, man.
Seeing some serious recording problems, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just my earphones that I'm using. So, another question that Jamie asks is, what are the factors to consider when picking your influencer?
There are only two factors, I would say. I mean, three actually. The first one being the engagement rate. That's very important. Don't never ever focus on the follower count because this can be easily bought. Engagement is important. Number of likes, comments, shares that each post gets. Second thing is whether they fit your brand. Generally, if you're just going to focus on engagement, okay, say you are a beauty product, you have a few beauty products, and you go for female influencers who have a lot of engagement. That's good. Now, what if this female influencer is the type who's only going to post, very provocative videos of herself? Then you are not going to reach right, because such an influencer, although they have high engagement, generally have a larger male following, right? Obviously. So again, if you're selling beauty products, you're not going to reach your target audience. So it's very important to find the right influencer. So that's the second. You have to find the right one who fits your brand, and somebody who has the followers based on what your product is looking for, right? Your own target market. And lastly is, of course, price. Because influencer marketing is not a regulated industry, each influencer tends to charge their own price. And with that, you have to sort of weigh the pros and cons of paying. I mean, you have to compare the amount paid together with the amount of engagement. We oftentimes, I mean, for me personally, when I engage influencers for my clients, if a certain influencer's price is too high, but the engagement does not equate to that, I don't use them, regardless of how high the engagement is. Because you need to get the bang for your buck, and you're only going to get that when you're very discerning of how much engagement as opposed to their price. So you gotta weigh in these three factors before you decide which influencer you're going to go with. Hello. Yep, Nikolai, what's up?
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. So yeah, I was also saying that that also if the influencer's image is poor, if they are not right, then also it would be a good idea to cut ties with them. So it's not just what kind of audience, it's also the kind of image they project on your brand. You don't want to end up supporting an influencer who has done like many controversial things. So yeah, that's a very good point, and thanks very much.
No worries, man.
I think that's where we'll end the episode, because Jamie has literally disappeared out of existence to another dimension, and my microphone appears to be dying. So we're going to end the episode there. Thank you all so much for listening to this amazing podcast, and thank you very much, Vinodh Menon. That's how do you say the correct name? Yes.
Yep. No worries.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. I've not been cancelled yet, and
I'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye.